Hello, ECE240, and welcome to here we are, week 6, focusing on chapter 5, motor, sensory, and perceptual development. First of all, really quick, is I really want you to dig deep and try a little bit harder if you're not already doing it, to use APA in your discussions and in your observations. Because remember, for your midterm and for all the assignments afterwards, you must use APA. Number 2, you're going to have your second observation come up soon. And so it's really important for you to look at your grade for your first observation and see where you can make some improvements if needed, to maximize your ability to get the best score possible for that. Okay, so let's go into the foundation of brain development. And we got deeper last week into the power of brain development, reinforcing the idea and the science behind 80-90, and how critical that window is during the first 5 years to support these neuron connections that are happening. And in your discussion last week, you talked about how you would support brain development. And now we're going to get a little deeper on what we can do via our nurturing to support and enhance brain development. And the first way we can do that is we have this actual zoomed in window. So I've been talking about the first 5 years of how that sets the foundation for adolescence and later years in our life to adulthood. But now we're going to kind of focus on the first 2 years of life, especially when it comes to motor and sensory and perceptual development. But I want to start with this quote right here as we get deeper into this beautiful window we have during the first 2 years. There is no way in which to understand the world without first detecting it through the radar net of our senses. So yes, what are our senses, right? The ability to see, hear, touch, smell, and taste. So we want to use our senses. What we want to do is allow the little one during the first 2 years of life to use their senses in a way that stimulates and supports their brain development. And so I told you in this semester, I was going to give you tools to impact your life and also others. So within those first 2 years, to really support brain development and to give that foundation for later success, the way we're going to want to really stimulate that during the first 2 years is by giving opportunities to enhance sensory play. Okay, we're going to get into that a little bit right now. But I like this quote down here too. Touch comes before sight, before speech, and is the first language and the last, and it always tells the truth. Think about that for a little bit. This is what I want to do before we get into a little bit deeper around the importance of motor and sensory and perceptual development and its impact and its direct link into brain development, and especially during those first 2 years of life. So we're going to do this really quick. I want us to explore in this moment the power that sensory development has on our brain and us. So please stick with me and do this game really quick and do this exercise. I want you to close your eyes really quick, please. Take a deep breath. Let's take one more just so we can be in the moment, be present, be here. And now, as you have your eyes closed, I want you to think about your favorite dish, your favorite food, your favorite meal. And while you're thinking about your favorite meal, I want you to think about, where do you eat that food? Where do you eat that meal? Is it at a restaurant? Is it at a relative's home? Someone that you love to eat that dish that you know knows how to prepare and make it the best? Who's making it? So now that you have your favorite food, now that you're in the space of who's making it for you, restaurant, someone's house, I want you to incorporate everything that you see while you're eating it. Who's there with you? Who are you sitting down with? Where are you at? I want you to pretend that you're eating that food and see if you really can taste it right now. Maybe that food brings you to a memory of that person or that place that you're eating it at or with, or who made it for you. I want to see if you can bring in some of those sounds that are very familiar when you're eating that food. Maybe the smells, what you're able to smell when you're eating that food. Maybe that restaurant has a particular smell, or that home that you're at has a particular smell, or that individual that made that food for you has a unique perfume or cologne. Stay in that moment with me for a little bit longer and just visualize yourself in that space eating that meal. All right, open your eyes. That's the power that our senses have. That connection to our brain that allows us to have that memory to go back in that space, right? To relive it, to make that connection of who made it for us. Was it at a restaurant? And for me, I think about my grandma. And you guys saw that picture in our first week video that I shared of my grandma and my grandparents and the important role and impact they had in my life. But one of my favorite meals that she would make was mole. So chicken mole. So basically, it's chicken prepared with this chocolatey kind of peanut sauce on top. She would put black olives on top of the mole because I loved it. We were at her house in Calexico, very small little home, small little dining room table. And I just remember how proud she was of her meal, really enjoying that I loved to eat it with a side of rice. I can imagine my grandfather being there talking to me, a lot of conversation, a lot of people there, tortillas on the side, freshly made flour tortillas on the side. And all of that comes to me, and I can just taste her food. And that is the power, the connection that sensory development has in regards to brain development. See, sensory activities, especially during those first 2 years of life, are critical in early childhood development. See, when we explore activities and play that include the senses and we're intentional around it, these activities help students develop logic and imagination while exploring their 5 senses. Children who participate in sensory stimulating activities at an early age develop physical, mental, emotional, and social skills that are crucial for success later in life. Sensory play is useful for all children, all age groups. However, though, they are the most important during that window, and especially that window of the first 2 years of life. Science-based studies have proven that children who go through sensory-based play show more growth and development in early childhood, which helps them acquire more practical skills across the domain. You can make that link to straight to brain development. This is the opportunity we have as nurturers to support brain development through sensory games and activities. It's because a huge amount of information enters our brain at every instant, like right now, right? You can hear me, you can watch me. But apart from our primary senses, sight, taste, touch, hear, and smell, we use a sense of balance and awareness to know where our body is in that space as we explore the world. These senses work together to give us the information to form perception and behavior. This perception is what established the foundation for higher learning, especially in young children. One thing we know is this: information retention, so to hold on to information and then use it later, is higher when we engage our senses during the lesson. It's not a secret at all. Our most vivid memories of the past involve one or more senses, just like the exercise I put you in of thinking of your favorite meal and where you ate it and who prepared it for you. If we try to look beyond the senses, we can find that involving our senses builds strong, let me say this again, strong nerve connections. Remember those neuron connections we're trying to make? And helps in developing our motor skills. This sensation flows into the brain and it just ripples and provides strong foundation for the brain development we need for later in life. This is the first opportunity. You already know about 80-90, but now I'm giving you the tools to support and enhance and maximize 80-90, and it's all through sensory play. This is our job critically during the first 5 years of life and moving forward, but we gotta pay extra close attention to it during the first 2 years of life. I have some videos that will also enhance your learning this week. And what I'd like you to do is go to these two websites really quick here. The first one is going to be how brain connections are built. This takes you to the First Things First website, and it gets a little bit deeper into brain development. But this is what I really want you to connect with is the baby brain and watch that video. Okay, it's a very quick video, gets into some nice information, and I would like for you to start there. Okay. The second video I have goes alongside an article that I would love for you to read and support your learning this week as well. Okay. It is called Baby Sensory Development. Okay. And it's going to take you to this website right here. And it gets deeper into um, how to support sensory development. So now this article is really going to give you the tools that I talked about. Now that we understand the importance of sensory development and its relationship to supporting brain development and those neuron and nerve connections, this goes into exactly what you can do. Okay? And this is a great video from Sesame Street, a very quick video around giving examples of what you can do. And that's why I told you this class has the power to change your life. So it's not just learning about the importance of this, but also giving you the tools that you can use them in your life, right? All right. So for this week, you have a discussion and a quiz. And we're going to review your discussion really quick. Of course, your quiz is due on Sunday. But I do want to take some time to get into your discussion. Also, for those of you that already explored the Vroom app, Vroom does a really good job. And of course, you have extra credit there if you want to download it and fill out that form that you've completed the exercise with Vroom. But Vroom will ask you, how old is the child that you're working with? And that's what I want you to do, is kind of create this imaginary child, or if you have a child that's under the age of 5, you can put in your child's information and then be able to use the activities. But the activities are really age appropriate, tied to brain science, and gives you everyday activities to enhance brain development. And you'll see within those first 2 years, a lot of it is focused around sensory. Okay. For your question this week, and we'll end here, I want you to imagine that you are a parent of a 1-year-old. Okay. What would you do effectively to stimulate the sensory development of your very young child? So now I want you to get deep and tell me the play and the work that you would do. Also supporting you, I have a link here that goes into the ages and stages. You should have seen this last week as well, but this gets into develop milestones, and you can look in to these tools here that tell you the different developmental milestones and things that you can do to enhance. So here is going to give you some nice activities. The Vroom app is going to give you some nice activities. You can learn from the book as well, the videos that I'm sharing you. You have multiple tools to help you with your discussion of the week. We end here. The big takeaway is we understand the importance of 80-90, but within those 2 first years of life, our goal is to enhance activities and play that support sensory development, that allow for stronger connections, because the children are learning through their senses, through their surrounding. And the more that we stimulate that, we're laying the opportunity to enhance brain development. That's the big takeaway. Sensory development, brain development, they go together. You must use sensory development to enhance brain development. They go hand in hand, especially during the first 2 years of life. I wish all of you a wonderful week. Look forward to reading your discussions, and I wish you the best. Take care. Bye-bye.